Queen Vexara sat on her crystal throne on the bridge of her massive ship, the Celestial Talon. The stars stretched out before her through the giant viewing window. Her skin glowed with soft blue light that pulsed with her mood. Right now, that mood was boredom. Another system conquered, she said to the empty room. Another species that fell to their knees before us. For 300 years, Vexara had led the Nebulan Empire across the stars. No one could stand against her people. Their ships could bend space. Their weapons could tear apart planets. Their minds could connect across vast distances. They were gods among lesser beings. Vexara stood up and walked to the window. Her long silver robes flowed behind her like water. The stars were cold and distant. She had seen so many of them up close. She had watched their light reflect off the broken ships of her enemies. "Your Majesty." A voice broke the silence. Vexara turned to see Kylix, her chief advisor. His skin was paler than hers and his eyes held worry. "What is it?" she asked. "Has another world surrendered?" "No, Your Majesty. The scout ships we sent to the edge of the Orion Arm have returned, and 3 of them did not come back." Vexara's skin flashed bright blue with surprise. 3 ships lost? What force could destroy our scout ships? Kylix lowered his eyes. "The survivors say it was humans." The throne room went silent. Vexara's glow dimmed to almost nothing. "Humans," she whispered. "The warriors of Earth." For years, stories had spread through the Empire about a small blue planet called Earth. Its people were said to be savage fighters who never surrendered. Some Nebulans claimed humans had technology that could match their own. Others said humans were just smart animals who got lucky. Vexara had never believed the stories. No species could stand against the Nebulan Empire. These humans were just myths, scary stories told to make young Nebulans behave. "Show me," she commanded. Kylix waved his hand, and a screen appeared in the air. It showed a recording from one of the surviving scout ships. 3 Nebulan vessels moved through space near a red dwarf star. Suddenly, small ships appeared from behind a moon. They were simple-looking, made of metal with no signs of advanced technology, but they moved fast. So fast that the Nebulan ships could not target them. "Impossible," Vexara whispered. The small ships fired weapons at the Nebulan scouts. The weapons looked simple, but they found weak spots in the Nebulan shields. One scout ship exploded, then another. The third barely escaped. "Where did they come from?" Vexara asked. "A planet they call Earth, Your Majesty. It is a water world with 7 continents. The humans have only had space travel for about 200 years. They should not be able to fight us like this." Vexara's glow turned red with anger. "No one defies the Nebulan Empire. No one." She turned to her war minister, who stood quietly in the corner. "Prepare the fleet. We will crush these humans and their planet." "Wait," said Kylix. "Perhaps we should learn more about them first. If they can destroy our ships, they may have other surprises." Vexara was silent for a moment. Then her glow changed to a thoughtful purple. "You are right. Bring me one of these humans. I want to see what they are capable of." Thousands of light years away, Lieutenant Olivia Marsh woke up in her small room on the human battleship Valiant. Her dark hair was cut short in a military style. Her brown eyes looked tired. She had not slept well. Dreams of alien ships had filled her mind. Strange ships that seemed to appear and disappear. Ships that glowed with an inner light that wasn't normal. Olivia got up and put on her uniform. The patches on her sleeve showed she was part of Earth's special forces. She had fought in 3 battles against alien races. She had survived when others hadn't. Her computer screen lit up. "Lieutenant Marsh, report to the bridge." Olivia left her room and walked through the metal halls of the ship. Other crew members nodded to her with respect. Everyone knew who she was. In the last battle, she had saved the Valiant by flying her small fighter into the heart of the enemy fleet and taking out their command ship. On the bridge, Admiral Kate Monroe waited. She was an older woman with gray hair and a face that had seen too much war. "Lieutenant," she said when Olivia entered, "we have a new mission." The main screen showed a star map. A blinking red dot marked a spot near the edge of their solar system. 3 days ago we detected strange ships near Pluto, the Admiral said. They seem to be watching us. When our patrol went to investigate, the ships attacked. What kind of ships? Olivia asked. Like nothing we've seen before. They seem to bend light around them. Our weapons barely hurt them. Did we destroy them? Admiral Monroe nodded. 3 of them. The rest escaped. We think they were scouts for a larger force. Olivia studied the map. They were looking for weaknesses in our defenses. Yes. And now they know we can fight back. That makes us dangerous. The Admiral touched the screen, and it changed to show a new mission plan. We're sending a small team to patrol the outer system. You'll be in command, Lieutenant. Olivia read the mission details. A 6-month patrol in the cold emptiness at the edge of the solar system, looking for more alien ships. When do we leave? She asked. Tomorrow. Choose your best pilots. This won't be easy. As Olivia left the bridge, she felt a strange feeling in her stomach. Not fear. She had faced death too many times to fear it now. No, it was something else. A feeling that everything was about to change. In her quarters, she looked at the small photo of her parents. They had died in the first alien contact when she was just 10 years old. Since then, she had dedicated her life to protecting Earth. I won't let them take our home, she whispered to the empty room. Far away in the depths of space, Queen Vexara watched as her fleet prepared for the journey to Earth. Soon, she would meet these humans. Soon, she would learn if the stories were true, and if they were, the galaxy would never be the same. The patrol mission started quietly. For 3 weeks, Olivia and her team of 6 pilots searched the outer edges of the solar system. They found nothing but ice, rock, and the endless cold of space. Another empty sector, said Samantha West, Olivia's second-in-command. Her voice crackled through the radio. Maybe they're not coming back. They'll be back, Olivia said. She guided her fighter around a small moon. The ship responded to her touch like it was part of her body. They lost ships. They'll want revenge. The fighters moved in formation through the darkness. They were small but powerful, built for speed and surprise attacks. Each carried weapons that could destroy ships many times their size. Lieutenant Marsh, a voice called from the Valiant. We're picking up strange energy readings near your position. Olivia checked her scanner. Nothing. I don't see anything, she replied. The readings are growing stronger. Something big is... The radio went silent. At the same moment, space itself seemed to tear open in front of them. A hole appeared in the blackness filled with swirling blue light. Evasive maneuvers, Olivia shouted. The fighters scattered, engines burning hot as they tried to escape. From the blue hole, ships emerged. Not small scout ships this time, but massive warships. They glowed with the same strange light Olivia had seen in her dreams. Nebulan, battle fleet detected, said the computer in her ship. 7 capital ships, multiple support vessels. How does it know what they are? Samantha asked. Before Olivia could answer, energy beams shot out from the alien ships. 2 of her pilots. Fighters exploded instantly. Return to the Valiant, Olivia ordered. We can't fight this many. The remaining fighters turned and raced toward the distant safety of their mothership. But the alien vessels were faster than they looked. They moved through space in ways that didn't seem possible, appearing in one spot, then instantly shifting to another. They're hurting us, Olivia realized. The alien ships weren't trying to destroy them all. They were pushing them away from the Valiant. A new hole opened in space, directly in their path. Unlike the blue light of the first hole, this one glowed purple. Don't go near it, Olivia warned, but it was too late. Samantha's fighter was caught in some kind of pull from the purple hole. I can't break free, Samantha yelled. Her fighter was dragged toward the strange opening. Olivia turned her ship around. I'm coming to help. No, get back to the Valiant. Warn them. Olivia ignored the order. She fired her weapons at the edge of the purple hole, hoping to disrupt whatever force was pulling Samantha in. The shots disappeared into the light with no effect. Another alien ship appeared. This one different from the others. It was smaller, but more elegant with lines that curved like water. It moved directly toward Olivia. She tried to turn away, but her controls no longer responded. A soft blue light surrounded her fighter. Tractor beam activated, her computer announced calmly. Engine systems offline. Olivia's fighter began moving toward the strange ship. She hit the emergency controls, trying to break free. Nothing worked. Self-destruct. Sequence, she said clearly. It was standard procedure if capture seemed likely. Better to die than give the enemy information. Self-destruct unavailable, the computer replied. Unknown energy field is blocking all command functions. The small alien ship opened like a flower, revealing a docking bay inside. Olivia's fighter was pulled gently into it. The pedals closed behind her. Through her viewport, Olivia saw strange beings moving toward her ship. They walked on two legs, like humans, but their skin glowed with soft light that shifted colors. They were tall and thin with large almond-shaped eyes. One of them touched the side of her fighter, and the canopy opened on its own. Cold air rushed in, carrying a sweet smell Olivia had never experienced before. She reached for her sidearm, but her hand wouldn't move. Her whole body was frozen in place. "Do not be afraid," a voice said in her mind. "The Queen wishes to meet you." The aliens lifted her from the cockpit. Though she couldn't move, Olivia was fully aware. She could see the inside of the alien ship. It didn't look built so much as grown. The walls curved in organic patterns and lights pulsed along them like blood through veins. They carried her through winding corridors to a room filled with strange equipment. They placed her on a table that molded itself to fit her body perfectly. "Prepare her for the Queen," one of them said. This time Olivia heard the words with her ears, not her mind. They were speaking English. "How do you know our language?" she asked, surprised to find she could speak again. The alien looked at her with those large eyes. "We know many things about your kind. Soon, we will know everything." A device lowered from the ceiling, hovering over Olivia's head. It looked like a crystal web, delicate and beautiful. "What is that?" she asked. "The mind link. It will allow the Queen to see your thoughts." Panic rose in Olivia's chest. If they could read her mind, they would learn Earth's defenses, patrol routes, weapon capabilities, everything. "No," she said, trying to move. Her body still wouldn't respond. The crystal web touched her forehead. It felt cool at first, then warm. Colors danced behind her eyes. "Sleep now, human," the alien said. "When you wake, you will meet Queen Vexara." Darkness took Olivia. On the bridge of the Celestial Talon, Queen Vexara received the news. "We have captured one of their warriors, Your Majesty," Kylix reported. "A female. She commands their patrol squadron." "Good," Vexara said. Her skin glowed bright with excitement. "Prepare the mind link. I want to see what these humans know." "It is already done, Your Majesty. She sleeps now. The link will be ready when you wish to use it." Vexara turned to look at the distant blue planet on her viewing screen. Earth looked so small, so vulnerable. "Tell me about this human," she said. Kylix consulted a data screen. "They call her Lieutenant Olivia Marsh. She has fought in many battles. Her fellow humans consider her a hero." "A hero," Vexara repeated the word. In all the worlds the Nebulans had conquered, they had faced armies, but never heroes. "What else?" "Her mind is unusual," Kylix said. "The scientists say it has patterns they haven't seen before. Complex strategic structures, advanced problem-solving networks." Vexara's glow pulsed with interest. "Bring her to me when she wakes. I want to see this human warrior for myself." "Yes, Your Majesty." Kylix bowed and left. Alone again, Vexara stared at the image of Earth. For centuries, her people had moved through the galaxy, taking what they needed from lesser species. None had ever posed a real challenge. But these humans, they had destroyed 3 scout ships. They had fought back when they should have surrendered. "Are you the warriors of legend?" she asked the image of the blue planet. "Or just another species that will kneel before the Nebulan Empire?" Soon, she would have her answer. Soon, she would meet this human hero, this Olivia Marsh. and then she would decide if Earth would live or die. Olivia woke to find herself in a room unlike any she had ever seen. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with soft light. The ceiling was high and curved, like being inside a giant seashell. There was no bed. She floated a few inches above a platform of swirling mist. Her military uniform was gone. Instead, she wore a simple white garment that felt lighter than silk. Her wrists and ankles were free, but when she tried to move away from the platform, an invisible force held her in place. "You are awake." The words appeared in her mind rather than reaching her ears. Olivia turned her head to see one of the glowing aliens standing by the doorway. This one was female, taller than the others she had seen, with skin that shimmered between blue and violet. "Where am I?" Olivia asked. "You are aboard the Celestial Talon, flagship of the Nebulan Empire." The alien moved closer, her movements flowing like water. "I am Zelva, healer and mind scientist." "What have you done to my squadron, my ship?" "Your fellow warriors are safe for now. They are being held on another vessel." Zelva studied Olivia with large, pupilless eyes. "You are different from the others. Your mind has barriers I have not seen before." Olivia remembered her special forces training, mental resistance techniques designed to protect against mind-altering drugs and torture. Could they work against alien mind-reading too? "The Queen wishes to speak with you," Zelva continued. "She has many questions about your kind." "I have nothing to say to your queen," Olivia replied. Zelva's skin flickered with a pattern that might have been amusement. "You misunderstand. It is not about what you say. It is about what you think." The door opened and more Nebulans entered. They surrounded Olivia's floating platform, which began to move on its own, carrying her out of the room and down a long corridor. The ship was vast inside. They passed rooms filled with strange equipment, gardens of plants that moved on their own, and pools of liquid that flowed upward against gravity. Nebulan crew members stopped to watch as Olivia passed, their skin glowing with curiosity. Finally, they reached a massive door that opened at their approach. Beyond it lay a throne room. The ceiling soared upward into darkness. Stars were visible through a clear dome above. The floor was black material that reflected the stars like a mirror, creating the illusion of standing in open space. At the center, on a raised platform, sat Queen Vexara. Olivia had expected a larger version of the other Nebulans. She was wrong. The Queen was both like her people and utterly different. Her form seemed less solid, as if she existed partly in another dimension. Her skin didn't just glow, it rippled with waves of light that created patterns too complex for Olivia's eyes to follow. Her face was beautiful and terrible at once, with features that seemed to shift slightly when not looked at directly. "The human warrior." Vexara's voice filled the room and Olivia's mind simultaneously. "At last we meet." Olivia's platform stopped before the throne. The invisible force holding her vanished. She stood up, facing the alien queen without fear. "I'm Lieutenant Olivia Marsh of Earth's Defense Force," she said. "You have attacked our ships without provocation. This is an act of war." Laughter like crystal bells filled the room. The Nebulans around her glowed brighter with amusement. "War?" Vexara rose from her throne. She was tall, nearly 7 feet, and moved with impossible grace. "Little human, you cannot war with gods. Your species is but an infant compared to ours. We have destroyed civilizations that reached the stars before your kind learned to make fire." She circled Olivia, studying her from all angles. "Yet you destroyed 3 of our ships. Curious." "We'll destroy more if you don't leave our system," Olivia said. Vexara stopped in front of her. Bold words. "I wish to see the mind that creates such confidence." She raised a hand and a crystal device descended from the ceiling. It was similar to the web that had touched Olivia before, but larger and more complex. "This is the Royal Mind Link," Vexara explained. "Unlike the simple version you experienced earlier, this one creates a true connection. I will see your thoughts, your memories, your fears, and you, little human, will see mine." Olivia stepped back. "No, you have no choice. Vexara said without malice. But do not fear. The process is not painful. Most find it illuminating. The crystal web descended over both of them, creating a shimmering dome that isolated them from the rest of the room. Inside this space, Olivia felt her mind expanding, reaching beyond her body. She tried to resist, to use her training to build mental walls. For a moment, she thought it was working. Then Vexara's mind touched hers, and the walls crumbled like sand. Images flashed through Olivia's consciousness. Earth's defenses, the locations of fleet bases, battle plans for alien invasions. She was revealing everything, betraying her planet with each passing second. In desperation, she tried a different approach. Instead of resisting, she pushed back. She focused on her own questions, her own desire to know about the Nebulans. Surprisingly, it worked. The flow of information slowed, then reversed. Now Olivia was seeing into Vexara's mind. She saw a dying star, a world of blue crystals crumbling into dust. A great exodus as the Nebulans fled their home galaxy. Centuries of wandering through the void between galaxies. The discovery of a new home, already occupied by other species, and deeper, hidden beneath layers of royal discipline, she saw fear. The Nebulan population was declining. Their new home lacked something essential for their survival, something they believed Earth possessed. Suddenly, the connection broke. The crystal web retracted, and Olivia fell to her knees, gasping. Vexara stood rigid, her glow pulsing rapidly with shock and anger. "How did you do that? No lesser mind has ever reversed the link." The Nebulan guards moved closer, their hands on weapons. Vexara stopped them with a gesture. "Take her back to her cell," the Queen ordered. "Increase the mental barriers, and prepare the War Council. We must discuss a change of plans." As the guards led Olivia away, she caught a final glimpse of Vexara. The Queen's expression was no longer dismissive. There was calculation there, now. And something else. Something that looked almost like respect. Back in her cell, Olivia sat on the floating platform and tried to make sense of what she had learned. The Nebulans weren't just conquerors. They were refugees desperate to save their species. But that didn't justify attacking Earth. There had to be another way. A soft sound drew her attention to the door. It opened slightly, revealing a small Nebulan child. Its glow was fainter than the adults, its form still developing. "Are you really a human warrior?" the child asked, voice filled with wonder. Before Olivia could answer, an adult Nebulan appeared, pulling the child away. But not before Olivia heard its whispered words. The prophecy said the Star Warriors would come, the ones who could save us all. The door closed, leaving Olivia alone with her thoughts. What prophecy? And how could humans save the Nebulans when they were trying to destroy Earth? She needed answers. And to get them, she needed to escape. Meanwhile, far away on the human battleship Valiant, a desperate plan was forming. Grace Taylor, the ship's chief engineer, had discovered something strange about the Nebulan vessels. "Their technology is advanced, but it has a weakness," she explained to Admiral Monroe. "Their shields operate on a quantum frequency that fluctuates in a predictable pattern. If we can match that pattern and reverse it, we could disable their ships without destroying them," Admiral Monroe finished. Grace nodded. "But we need more data, and the only place to get it is from inside their fleet." "A rescue mission," the Admiral said, "for Lieutenant Marsh and her squadron." "Yes, ma'am, but it would be extremely dangerous." Admiral Monroe looked at the tactical display showing the massive Nebulan fleet surrounding Earth's outer defenses. "A direct attack would be suicide." "Who do you need?" she asked. Grace smiled. "I've already spoken with Kelly Nguyen in Tactical. She has a plan." As the humans prepared their desperate mission, Queen Vexara sat alone in her private chamber, watching recordings of Earth cities, oceans, and forests. Her mind was troubled by what she had seen in the humans' thoughts. These humans were not the simple savages she had expected. They were complex, contradictory beings, Capable of great violence, yes, but also great compassion. They fought fiercely to protect their world, just as the Nebulans once had. Perhaps, she whispered to herself, the legends were true after all. Days passed on the Nebulan flagship. Each morning, guards would take Olivia to a different room for more tests. Sometimes they scanned her body with strange devices. Other times they asked her questions about Earth and human history. But they never used the mind link again. It seemed Queen Vexara was not eager to repeat that experience. Olivia learned to watch and listen. The Nebulans spoke freely around her, assuming she couldn't understand their language. But thanks to the brief mind connection with Vexara, Olivia found she could understand much of what they said. She learned that the Nebulans were divided. Some, led by the War Minister Drazur, wanted to attack Earth immediately. Others, including Vexara's advisor Calyx, urged caution. The humans are more dangerous than we thought, Calyx said during one meeting Olivia overheard. Their minds are different from other species we have encountered. They think in ways we do not expect. They are still primitive, Drazur argued. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Yet they destroyed 3 of our scout ships, Calyx reminded him. How did they do this if they are so primitive? The question hung in the air, unanswered. On the 5th day, something changed. Instead of taking Olivia to the testing room, the guards brought her to a garden. Plants from 100 worlds grew together in impossible harmony. Water flowed in streams that sometimes ran upward against gravity. Vexara waited there, alone. She wore simpler robes than before, and her glow was subdued. "Leave us," she told the guards. When they hesitated, her glow flashed bright with anger. "I said leave." When they were alone, Vexara gestured to a bench made of living wood. "Sit, Lieutenant Marsh, please." Olivia sat cautiously. "What do you want from me?" "Understanding," Vexara said, sitting beside her. "When our minds touched, you saw things about my people, things I had not intended to share." "I saw that you're refugees," Olivia said. "Your home galaxy was dying." Vexara nodded. "For 10,000 years we wandered between the stars. Many of our people died. Those who survived changed. We adapted to life in the void." "That's why you glow," Olivia realized. "You evolved to create your own light." "Yes, and to draw energy directly from the stars. But it is not enough." Vexara looked up at the garden ceiling, which showed the stars beyond. "Our children are born weaker with each generation. Soon there will be no more Nebulans." "What does this have to do with Earth?" Vexara's glow shifted to a deep blue. "Your planet has something we need, a rare element in its core that could save our species. We call it life crystal. It can stabilize our genetic structure, prevent further decline." "So you came to take it," Olivia said. "Without asking." "Would you have given it freely?" Vexara asked. Olivia thought about it. "I don't know. Maybe, if you had explained. We've helped other species before." Vexara seemed surprised. "Truly? Even potential rivals?" "Not everyone sees the universe as a battlefield." The Queen was silent for a moment. "In our history, every encounter with another intelligent species has ended in conflict. It is why we strike first. We assumed humans would be the same." "You assumed wrong," Olivia said. Before Vexara could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Red light pulsed along the walls. "Your Majesty!" Calyx rushed into the garden. "We are under attack." Vexara stood. "Humans?" "Yes. A small ship has penetrated our outer defenses. It is heading directly for us." Vexara turned to Olivia. "Your people come for you." "I told you we don't abandon our own," Olivia said. Vexara's expression was unreadable. "Return the human to her cell," she ordered Calyx. "Double the guards." As they led Olivia away, she heard Vexara give another command. "Tell Drazur not to destroy the human vessel. Capture it intact." Back in her cell, Olivia paced anxiously. Who was coming for her? Was it the Valiant? Or a smaller rescue team? She pressed her ear to the door, trying to hear the guards outside. They were speaking, rapidly in their language. The human ship is using some kind of stealth technology, one said. Our sensors can barely track it. How can they have such technology? The other wondered. The Queen said they were primitive. Maybe she was wrong. The War Minister says, A distant explosion cut off their words. The ship shuddered and the lights flickered. Olivia smiled. That had to be Grace Taylor's work. The chief engineer had a talent for making things explode at just the right moment. More alarms sounded. The guard's footsteps hurried away from her door. Olivia waited, counting seconds in her head. Then she moved to the wall where she had earlier, noticed a panel that looked different from the others. 5 days of observation had taught her much about Nebulan technology. Their ships were partly organic, responding to touch and thought. She placed her hand on the panel and concentrated, trying to mimic the mental patterns she had felt during the mind link. Nothing happened. She tried again, focusing harder. The panel remained solid. Come on, she muttered. Work. Suddenly the panel softened beneath her fingers. It became transparent, then dissolved completely, revealing a tunnel of pulsing cables and flowing liquids, the ship's equivalent of mechanical systems. Olivia squeezed into the narrow space. The tunnel led upward, toward what she hoped was the ship's outer hull. If Grace and Kelly were coming for her, they would try to dock somewhere near the detention level. She climbed for what seemed like hours, using the cables as handholds. The organic nature of the ship worked in her favor. It didn't register her as an intruder the way a mechanical system might. Finally, she reached a junction where several tunnels met. One led to a larger space that glowed with bright light. Olivia crawled toward it and found herself looking into a docking bay. A human shuttle had been captured in a tractor beam. Nebulan guards surrounded it, weapons ready. The shuttle's hatch remained closed. Olivia searched for a way to help. She noticed a control panel near her position that seemed to connect to the docking bay systems. Before she could move toward it, a new figure entered the bay. Queen Vexara, now dressed in full battle armor that amplified her natural glow to blinding levels. She approached the human shuttle. Open your vessel. Her voice boomed both aloud and mentally. You are surrounded. There is no escape. The shuttle's hatch remained closed. Vexara raised her hand. The tractor beam intensified and the shuttle's metal skin began to warp under the pressure. Last warning, she said. The hatch opened, but instead of humans, dozens of small spherical objects rolled out. They scattered across the docking bay floor. Bombs, a Nebulan guard shouted. But they weren't bombs. As the spheres reached the feet of the Nebulan guards, they emitted pulses of energy that matched the exact frequency of Nebulan biological systems. The guards collapsed, unconscious but alive. Only Vexara remained standing, protected by her royal armor. She looked at the spheres, with surprise then at the empty shuttle. Clever, she said. A distraction. At that moment the ship shuddered again. A different alarm sounded, one Olivia hadn't heard before. It had a higher pitch, more urgent. Vexara touched a control on her armor. Report, Your Majesty. Kylix's voice came through. Humans have boarded on level 7. They somehow bypassed our shields, 3 of them using technology we've never seen before. Olivia smiled. Level 7 was the ship's engine room. Grace would be targeting the power systems, looking for a way to disable the massive vessel. Vexara seemed to reach the same conclusion. Protect the quantum core, I am on my way. As the Queen rushed from the docking bay, Olivia saw her chance. She crawled out of the tunnel and ran to the shuttle. It was Earth technology, something familiar in this alien environment. Inside, she found what she had hoped for. Weapons and communication equipment. She grabbed a pulse rifle and activated the comm system. This is Lieutenant Marsh. Is anyone receiving? Static. Then a familiar voice broke through. Olivia? Is that you? It was Samantha West. Sam, you're alive. Relief flooded through Olivia. Where are you? On the Valiant. We're holding position just outside the Nebulan fleet's sensor range. Grace Kelly and Chief Patel are on the flagship trying to find you. I need to help them. The Queen is heading for the engine room. They're walking into a trap. We've got another problem, Samantha said, her voice grim. The Nebulan War Minister has taken command of half the fleet. He's moving to attack Earth. Directly. The Queen doesn't know. Olivia's blood ran cold. How long until they reach Earth? Hours, maybe less. Their ships are fast. Olivia thought quickly. I need to find the Queen. She might be our only hope of stopping this. The Queen? Are you crazy? She's the one who ordered all this. Trust me, Sam. There's more going on here than we knew. The Queen might listen to reason. And if she doesn't? Olivia checked the pulse rifle's charge. Then I'll do what I have to do. She cut the communication and headed for the docking bay doors. The unconscious guards were beginning to stir. She wouldn't have much time. As she ran through the ship's corridors, Olivia's mind raced. Could she really convince an alien queen to stop a war? Or was she placing too much faith in the brief connection they had shared? Either way, she had to try. Earth's future depended on it. Olivia moved through the celestial talon like a shadow. Her time as a prisoner had taught her the ship's rhythms. She knew when to hide and when to move. The pulse rifle felt solid in her hands, a piece of home in this alien world. The way to the engine room was marked by pulsing lines of light along the walls. Nebulans used these as guides through their massive ships. Olivia followed them, staying out of sight whenever she heard footsteps. She reached a massive door marked with symbols that glowed bright red. Even without understanding the language, she knew it was a warning. Beyond this point lay the heart of the ship's power. Voices came from the other side, raised in argument. One of them was Vex Ara's. The other was unfamiliar but filled with anger. Olivia placed her ear against the door. This is treason, Drazur, Vex Ara was saying. I gave no order to attack the human world. Because you have grown weak, the War Minister replied. These humans have confused you. Our people need the life crystal. Their planet has it. The equation is simple. Nothing about this is simple. The humans are not like other species we have. Encountered. They could be valuable allies. Drazur laughed. Allies? They are primitives with clever tricks. Nothing more. They have already disabled half our fleet with those clever tricks, Vex Ara said. 3 of them infiltrated our flagship Drazur, and you did not even detect them until they were already inside. Minor security failures that will be corrected. It is more than that. Did you know their ships use a modified version of quantum shielding? A technology we believed only we possessed? How did they develop this? It does not matter. My ships will reach their planet in hours. The surface bombardment will begin, and we will extract the life crystal from the remains. I am still Queen, Vex Ara's voice grew colder. And I command you to stop this attack. I no longer recognize your authority, Drazur said. The Council has voted. You are relieved of command until this crisis is resolved. Olivia had heard enough. She stepped back from the door and checked her weapon. A frontal assault would be suicide. She needed another way in. Looking up, she noticed a maintenance tunnel similar to the one she had used to escape her cell. It ran above the engine room. Perfect. She climbed up and squeezed into the narrow space. The tunnel was warm here, filled with the energy that powered the massive ship. It made her skin tingle. Crawling forward, she found a vent that looked down into the engine room. The space was enormous, dominated by a swirling column of blue-white energy that rose from floor to ceiling. Around it, control stations manned by Nebulan engineers monitored the power flow. Near the main door, Vex Ara stood facing Drazur and a group of armed guards. The Queen's glow was bright with anger, but she was clearly outnumbered. To the side, near a secondary control panel, Olivia spotted 3 humans in Earth Defense Force uniforms. Grace Taylor, Kelly Nguyen, and Chief Patel. They were being held at gunpoint by more guards. Olivia's friends were alive, but captured. And now the Queen herself was in danger. She had to act fast. Looking around the tunnel, she noticed power conduits running along its length. If she could disrupt them at the right moment, an idea formed in her mind. A crazy, desperate idea, but it might work. Using her knife, she carefully exposed the inner workings of one conduit. The energy inside pulsed like a living thing. Olivia took a deep breath. What she was about to do could kill her, but if she did nothing, Earth would die. Below, the argument was reaching its climax. "Take the queen to her chambers," Drazur ordered the guards. "Keep her there until the human world is secure." "You make a grave mistake," Vexara warned. "These humans are not what you think." "No, my queen, you are the one who has been deceived." Drazur turned to the human prisoners. "These creatures have clouded your judgment. Once they are eliminated, you will see clearly again." He raised his weapon, pointing it at Grace. Olivia moved. She plunged her knife into the power conduit, then quickly wrapped the handle in her jacket for insulation. The energy flowed into the metal blade, building to critical levels. "Hey!" she shouted down through the vent. "Looking for me?" All eyes turned upward. Drazur's expression shifted from surprise to triumph. "The human warrior," he said. "Excellent. Now we can finish this." He aimed his weapon at the vent. Before he could fire, Olivia pulled her knife free and threw it directly at the swirling energy column. The knife, charged with power from the conduit, arced through the air, trailing blue sparks. When it hit the energy column, the reaction was immediate and spectacular. The column flared blindingly bright. Alarms screamed throughout. The floor shook violently. "Energy surge." A Nebulan engineer shouted, "Quantum core destabilizing." Chaos erupted in the engine room. Guards scrambled to help contain the surge. In the confusion, Grace, Kelly, and Chief Patel broke free from their captors. Olivia crashed down through the vent, landing hard but rolling to her feet. She rushed to join her friends. "Nice entrance," Grace said with a grin. "Though a little warning next time would be nice." "No time," Olivia replied. "Drazur has ordered an attack on Earth. We need to stop him." The ship lurched again. The energy column was changing color, shifting from blue to an angry red. "What did you do?" Kelly asked, looking at the column with professional interest. "Introduced an energy surge to the main reactor," Olivia explained. "But I didn't expect it to be this bad." Chief Patel checked a nearby control panel. "The quantum core is approaching critical levels. This whole ship could implode." Across the room, Drazur was shouting orders, trying to regain control of the situation. Vexara stood apart, watching the humans with an unreadable expression. "We need to get to the communications array," Olivia said. "If we can send a signal to the Valiant, they might be able to stop Drazur's attack fleet." "No need," Grace said, holding up a small device. "I've been broadcasting everything since we got here. The Valiant has already moved to intercept Drazur's ships. Will they be able to stop them?" Grace's expression grew serious. "Not all of them. Some will get through." Another violent tremor shook the ship. The red glow from the energy column was spreading, crawling along the walls like blood. "We need to evacuate," Chief Patel said. "This ship is dying." Olivia looked toward Vexara. The Queen stood calmly amid the chaos, her glow steady despite the danger. Their eyes met across the room. Without words, a message passed between them. "Go," Olivia told her friends. "Get to our shuttle. I'll join you soon." "What are you going to do?" Kelly asked. "Try to save 2 worlds." Before they could argue, Olivia moved away, heading straight for Queen Vexara. Guards moved to stop her, but the Queen waved them aside. "You have destroyed my ship," Vexara said when Olivia reached her. "You were going to destroy my planet," Olivia replied. "Not I. Drazur." "Then help me stop him." Vexara studied her for a long moment. "Why should I?" "Because you know this is wrong. Your people need help, not more enemies. Earth might have helped you if you'd asked." "Would they? Even now, after we have attacked them?" Olivia nodded. "We've faced extinction before. We understand what it means to fight for survival." Another explosion rocked the ship. The lights flickered and died, replaced by the red glow of emergency systems. Your Majesty. Kylix appeared, his form flickering with distress. We must evacuate. The quantum core will collapse within minutes. Vexara seemed to make a decision. Send the signal to all ships. Stand down. Cease the attack on Earth. The Council has relieved you of command, Kylix reminded her gently. I am still Queen. Vexara's glow flared so bright that Kylix had to shield his eyes. And I will not let Drazzer destroy our last hope for peace. She turned to a nearby control panel and placed her hand on it. The panel responded to her touch, glowing with the same pattern as her skin. This is Queen Vexara to all Nebulan ships. Stand down. I repeat, stand down. The attack on Earth is cancelled. Any ship that proceeds will be considered in rebellion against the Crown. From another part of the room, Drazzer shouted, Do not listen. The Queen is compromised. Continue the attack. Vexara ignored him. Nebulan ships, this is your Queen. The humans are not our enemies. They may be our salvation. I have seen into their minds. They are warriors, yes, but they fight to protect, not to destroy. They could help us find the life crystal without bloodshed. The ship trembled again, more violently. Parts of the ceiling began to fall. We need to go, Olivia urged. Now, Vexara nodded. Evacuate all personnel. Abandon ship. As Nebulans rushed to escape pods, Olivia led Vexara toward the human shuttle. They passed Drazzer, who stood by the failing energy column, his glow dim with defeat. You doom our people, he said to Vexara. No, she replied. I save them from becoming what we once fought against. In the docking bay, Grace, Kelly, and Chief Patel had the shuttle ready. They looked surprised to see Olivia arrive with the alien queen. Room for one more? Olivia asked. Grace hesitated, then nodded. If she promises not to mind control us. You have my word, Vexara said with surprising humor. They boarded the shuttle just as the docking bay doors began to buckle. Chief Patel launched immediately, racing away from the dying flagship. Through the viewport, they watched as the celestial talon's glow intensified, then collapsed inward. The massive ship imploded, becoming a brief, brilliant star before fading to nothing. My home for 3 centuries, Vexara said softly.